and welcome to SimpleSpiritualityPH. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Regine. I am an intuitive, manifesting-based tarot reader. I am a certified Reiki healer and an overall light worker. And before we dive into today's video, I would like to invite everyone who would like to receive notifications of my new videos to please hit the subscribe button right there. If you like this video later on, please give it your thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say hey, please do comment them down below. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me, online for now, of course, here are the details. Now, every Tuesday on my Instagram at SimpleSpiritualityPH, we have free health Reiki, all right? Every Wednesday, my one question, one card reading is 50% off. So every Tuesday, that's free health Reiki. Every Wednesday, my one question, one card reading is 50% off. Just go to at SimpleSpiritualityPH and we'll take it from there, right? And I also have a donation button down below. If you like my content, if you'd like to tip me, that is the only avenue by which to do so, all right? You're not required to do so, but if you would like to, thank you very much. And let's get down to the video. So today I'm coming to you with no makeup, but with new hair color. I literally just had this done today. And so I was so annoyed because my hair was two different kinds of blonde. I wanted to have it done in like a color that was, first of all, more manageable whenever my roots would come out. These actually aren't my roots. They had to dye them a little bit darker. My roots were orange before this. And then my hair right here was blonde. So I told the hairdresser, the stylist, that I wanted a color that would still be complementary, that would still have dimension, that would still be in the blonde color, but I wanted it to have that kind of color, which would be really easy to maintain. You know, like even if my hair grew out, it would be fine, basically. That was what I wanted. And that is what he gave me. And this is going to, after a couple of days, this is going to lighten up for sure. The ash color will disappear for sure because ash doesn't really stay that well. If it's not like completely silver and ash, it will fade. So it's going to fade into a yellowish, kind of like ash, nutmeg blonde and light brown, if that makes sense, mushroom blonde. You'll see it in the next videos. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. So happy that I decided not to do my makeup and just feature the hair today. So yeah, another thing, I was going to say something else, but I forgot. Anyways, maybe I'll remember it in the next video. But for now, let's go to the actual video, which is a reading on the friendship of Mingyu and Lisa. Very interesting request. Now, it wasn't the only specific thing that they mentioned about that particular request is that they wanted to see if they were friends. You know, so we're going to see that if Mingyu and Lisa, Mingyu of 17 and Lisa of Blackpink are friends. So we'll check that out. And today we're going to be using the White Sage Tarot by Teresa Hutch. And the card that came out for us is Queen of Wands. Here we go. Queen of Wands. Okay, now the question was, let me move there. The question was whether Lisa and Mingyu are friends, right? That was the only question that was really like presented as a request. And surprisingly enough, the card actually says more like acquaintances and not friends, you know? Now, hear me out. If you are a fan of any K-pop group, you know, as I am. I'm a fan of SHINee. I'm a fan of 2NE1. Yay, the comeback. I'm a fan of BTS. I'm a fan of 17, you know. I follow them. Like, I listen to their songs and I follow them. For us sometimes, for people who stan K-pop groups, it's very difficult to think that they're not friends, right? Because they run in the same circles, they're part of the same agencies, they have, if I'm not mistaken, Mingyu and Lisa have a TikTok together, right? They did Rockstar when Rockstar came out, when Lisa's single Rockstar came out. And also they were spotted at a Bulgaria event, right? Like they were talking and they were, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm not mistaken, they were sitting beside each other and they were talking, right? But to you guys, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're friends. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're friends. In as much as we want to believe that it is, the card actually says they're more acquaintances rather than friends. However, the card also says, and this is what I'm reading from the card, right? The card also is giving me the message that when they do meet each other, they have very good communication with each other. They are able to express themselves to each other. They basically have great conversations whenever they meet each other. It doesn't need to be more. I know that a lot of us have our own expectations of, like, for example, if maybe some of you might want to expect that Mingyu is friends with Lisa. Maybe some of you might want to expect that Lisa is friends with Mingyu, you know? But the card says otherwise, and I actually consulted the card like 2 more times, and it did say no. And I did search online for this after. So here's what I did. I got the card, right? I picked out the card and I took another card out to ask if it was really the case that they weren't really like BFF stage, right? And the card still said no. And then I went online to search about Mingyu and Lisa's friendship, right? And all I could find basically was, again, about the TikTok, right? When Mingyu and Lisa were did the Rockstar pairing, the Rockstar TikTok, what do you call it? Challenge, right? And yes, the Bulgari one. Other than that, I couldn't find anything. So let's not try to make that mean that they are friends. Instead, let's look at their energy. And the energy is saying that they're most likely acquaintances, but when they do see each other, they do interact well with each other. They, again, they have great conversations with each other. Actually, it makes me, the card is giving me the message that they are actually of one mind, meaning they have kind of like the same mind frame. That's why they get along with each other. They understand each other's mind frame because they're the same. And at the same time as well, they both exude that kind of royal energy. Lisa has such a royal energy to her. She acts and thinks and speaks like a queen. Mingyu acts and speaks like a king, right? So they have that kind of like they see eye to eye with that. They both have wisdom, which I feel is also beyond their age. Like they're 97 liners, right? They're 97 persons. They have a mindset that is actually more mature than that. That's what I'm getting from the card. That's why they can relate to each other. This mindset is very mature and both of them possess it. That's why they can relate to each other. Now, their friendship can deepen a lot more, that's for sure, but only if they start to see more of each other, like maybe bump into each other a lot more, if their schedules permit, you know? Maybe they can be in more concerts together. Maybe they can be, maybe they can actively take. It's possible that they can actively take more steps towards being friendlier with each other, being more, basically being more friends with each other. But again, I know it might be difficult for some of you to believe, but card says otherwise. It says that there is potential. Right now, they're acquaintances, not really best friends, like, oh, I'm going to text you every single night and tell you about my day kind of thing. Not that level, you guys. It's not even on the level of, oh, let's have dinner together as friends, the way I would say Ki and Taeyeon are, Like Ki from SHINee and Taeyeon from Girls' Generation, right? They're really, really close friends, so much so that I saw in one episode of I Live Alone, Taeyeon went to Ki's house just to have dinner, right? A housewarming party, just because, right? And they're so close to each other that I think Taeyeon actually visited Ki while he was in the military. Now that's friendship. That's what friends are, I have not heard anything of that sort about Lisa and Mingyu, to be honest. And that's okay. That's okay. Let's let them be acquaintances and let's give them the benefit of the doubt, or not really the benefit of the doubt, rather I would say let's give them the space for them to actually for their relationship as friends to blossom a little bit more. Let's not box them right away of, oh, they have to be friends, or they are friends because they sat together at the Bulgaria show and they had great rapport. You know what, guys? Sometimes, let me put the card down first. Sometimes I have great rapport with people I meet on the train and I never see them again. But you would think that we were best friends. Sometimes I have people who I really bond with and connect with during a workshop of 3 days, and then I never see them again. But we have photos together. We're Facebook friends, and we have great conversations when we're with each other. So that's the type of thing. We can't come to conclusions just because of what we see sometimes. It's very difficult. It happens a lot in when it comes to if you're being a member of, or not a member, if you're being a fan of K-pop groups, we tend to come to conclusions about things. Like, let's take Suga's example, all right? So this is gonna be a multi-dimensional kind of video. Multi-dimensional meaning there's like Mingyu and Lisa, right? There's like the update about my hair, and then now we move on to Suga, right? So as I'm taping this, Suga's incident happened, right? So he was apparently caught drunk driving, right? Drunk driving on the way home. So he went for a couple of drinks, right? And he went home on his motorbike, on his scooter. I don't know what it's called, but basically a scooter on foot. It wasn't even an electric scooter that had a seat, you had to stand up. And he fell down in front of his house, basically, and there was a cop there nearby and asked him to take a breathalyzer test. And of course he drank. And so basically, case in point, his driving license got, what do you call this? His driving license got suspended, right? So that's the whole gist of the story. And personally, a lot of people will tend to see what they want to see. And that is also what do you call this? That's also part of spirituality. What you experience in your reality is what you want to see. Like whatever it is that you tend to gravitate to, whatever it is that you want to see, that is what you're going to experience. Let's say, for example, you think that, just an example, and I know none of you think of this. Let's say for an example that you think that Suga's a bad person. You're going to automatically see that, oh, he was drunk driving. Oh, he was so irresponsible. But literally, we saw the footage. Like, the footage was released. I saw the footage that was released. He literally just tripped, you guys. I trip without being drunk. And having slip preventive, like, in the kitchen, I trip without being drunk and while having non-slip, non-skid shoes. This man was able to go home in one piece and he was just parking his scooter and he tripped. But for people who hate Suga, they will think that he's such a bad person for even thinking about going home like that, in that state, right? And so it's the same thing here. When it comes to this reading, of Mingyu and Lisa, the card is saying that they are acquaintances and they do have great conversations with each other, but they're not really best friends like I said, maybe Ki and Taeyeon, right? And I know some of you are going to be dismayed by that. And I know some of you are going to be hating on that, saying, oh, yeah, but they were seen at the Bulgaria event. And yeah, they were having so much good rapport. And again, I say, I have great rapport with people I meet on the train. Like, I can talk to them for 3 hours on the train ride home or something like that. And then we'll never see each other again. That's just the thing. We don't need to overread into things. That's what we call overinterpretation or overreading, And it actually does exist when you overread a book or when you overinterpret a book or overinterpret a film, But anyways, so that's for their relationship. And this is just something that I guess I wanted to talk about also because, again, a lot of people tend to overread into things and they discount the fact that there is such a thing as energy. You know, the potential is there. I see the potential between the friendship of Mingyu and Lisa. But at the same time, I'm not condemning them to be friends if they're not really friends. Like, that's up to them. That's up to them. And again, this can change. This could change later. It could change tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow they're best friends. You know, maybe next month they're BFFs for all we know, right? So it can always change. But for now, let's leave them as they are great acquaintances. They have great conversations with each other. There's great potential for them to be really good friends, but they're no more than acquaintances at this current stage. All right, and let's not jump to conclusions. Let's not be angry at the fact that they aren't really BFFs, you know. Let's just leave their relationship to bloom. Let's allow their relationship to bloom organically. Let's allow them to bump into each other every once in a while and maybe move from there. Let their relationship progress from there, right? So I hope you like this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments, suggestions, you want to say, hey, please do comment them down below. If you would like to receive notifications on my new videos, please hit the subscribe button over there. And if you would like your very own tarot reading or Reiki healing session with me online for now, of course, here are the details. Now, every Tuesday on my Instagram at SimpleSpiritualityPH, I give away free health Reiki. Every Wednesday, my one question, one card reading is 50% off. So Tuesday, health Reiki for free. Wednesday, it's 50% off on my one question, one card reading. And if you would like to donate, if you would like to tip me, thank you so much for doing so. You're not required to do so, but for those who have and for those who will, thank you so much. I have a PayPal link down below. That's the only link by which you can do so, all right? I will see you guys next time. Ciao for now.